Hi, I'm Kellen Bryant, here to talk to you about Florida trust law. What is a trust? Trust is a contract, and the parties of this contract are the grantor and the trustee, and it also involves beneficiaries. Grantor is the person creating the trust. Trustee is the person in charge of managing the trust assets according to the grantor's wishes, and the beneficiaries are the ones who receive the good stuff of the trust. And depending on what stage of administration, we could have a combination of people involved in those roles. Trust document in terms are flexible and the objectives can be anything except evil purposes of what I like to call it. You can't say to trust, you can get this money if you divorce that deadbeat husband of yours. And the law actually views a trust as a separate person from the creator, just like me and you are separate people. So, and that's why a trust avoids probate. And depending on what terms, the IRS will see the trust as a separate person, or it'll see it as the same person. So, a trust is a property management tool. So the grantor can be the creator of the trust, and it could be made by you, so it could be for you, and that's a first party trust, or somebody can create a trust for you and your stuff. That's a third party trust. Many times a third party trust comes from after somebody dies and you have money held for you by the trust. So again, the trustee is the person in charge, and they're under a duty to follow the terms of the trust and listen to what the grantor says in the trust rule, and manage the trust wisely and not buy worm farms or invest in foolish investments. The trustee can't steal for their own personal purposes, and must provide information to the beneficiaries. So it's very important you choose somebody for a trustee position that is going to follow these rules. And many times you can have a person do it, or you can have a professional corporate trustee do the job of being a trustee. And the beneficiary is the person that can benefit in some way from the trust document. You can be the beneficiary, your family or friends can be the beneficiary, or charity can be the beneficiary. And a beneficiary can receive the benefit from the trust at any time, any way, and for whatever reason that's lawful. Again, you can't make your friend knock off an old enemy of yours to get money. That does not work. And depending on the timing of this, it depends on what kind of trust you have. The last element of a trust I want to discuss is funding of a trust. And that means putting assets into the trust or having trust own the assets. For example, it's having the name on the deed be the trust instead of you. That's funding it. And it's the most important concept, because if your trust isn't funded, then you just purchased a piece of paper that does nothing. Your trust must have your assets that you want to have in there to accomplish your purpose. And it can occur during the life or the death of the grantor. So if it funded during life, it's called an Irrevocable trust. Funded during death and it's in a will, it's called a Testamentary trust. Trust can be irrevocable or revocable. Irrevocable can apply only to certain terms of the trust, and irrevocable trusts are done for income tax benefits, state tax benefits, asset protection, nursing home protection. So there is reasons for doing irrevocable trust. Revocable is just like you'd think. You can change terms of the trust, change the assets, and completely revoke it anytime. Living is a trust is created during the life. It's called an Irrevocable trust also, and testamentary trust created within a will. And you need a probate in order to do a testamentary trust, make that work. So the trust can do a lot, as you can see. Avoid probate, protect assets, dealing with financial matters upon death, and promote values. A lot of good stuff that trust can do. So for now, those are the basics behind the trust. And if you want to learn more, I suggest you sign up for my newsletter and review past newsletters and blog posts. And if you're interested in doing some trust work with me, call the number below. Thanks for listening.